People. I just watched the Arsenal versus Cologne preseason game, and I have to say I was quite entertained by it. Uh, they chose different players from the first half to the second half. I mean, Arsene Wenger chose different players, and gave us a chance to see a lot of new faces. For example, Podolski, Giroud, they were both amazing. I thought. In the first half, I think it was 3-0 up, and goals from the first goal was scored by Vermaelen after a corner. Cazorla, oh yeah, and Santi Cazorla, he's playing as well. He crossed the ball from the corner, got a header on from the returning Mertesacker, and then Vermaelen headed it in just beneath the goalkeeper for 1-0. I was really happy about that. I wasn't really watching the game fully because I was a bit distracted, but it was really exciting and good to see, and the crowd were really into it. Next goal was a penalty from uh, that was awarded to Arsenal after I think Walcott passed the ball to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was just too pacey. He stood off one challenge and then got fouled by the next man, and it was a penalty. And the former Cologne player, Lucas Podolski, stepped up from the penalty spot and just blasted it with his strong left foot right into the goal. Uh, I was very pleased with him. I mean, he could have buckled under any pressure. It is his former club after all, and there was a lot of pressure on him. But, he's an experienced player and he just put it in the back of the net, which is what you expect from the Arsene Wenger signing. Um, that was the second goal. The third goal was again another goal from Lucas Podolski. Uh, some good work on the left, I believe. No, first it was Podolski played a good ball down the left to Kieran Gibbs, and then he gave him an immediate return pass. Podolski just left foot smashed it high and in the middle ahead of the goalkeeper, who was sort of diving lowish and medium height. But when you give it a good smash in the middle height, sometimes the keepers don't get it because they're already diving. That was a good second goal from Podolski, and the Arsenal players are really looking confident. I must say, in defence, we are still a bit shaky, simply because I was watching it and our defensive shape didn't look very tight. A lot of drifting, a lot of odd covering, for example, midfielders having to cover them, or centre back being at right back, or things like that was happening. That stuff doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence. However, because of the way the Arsenal squad is and the way we play, it is to be expected, and I'm not necessarily concerned about it as long as we score more goals than we can see. At the end of the day, that's my issue. If we don't keep a clean sheet, I don't really care as long as we win the game or come out with something. If we were losing and then we end up drawing, I don't mind as long as we come all the way from the game with something. Um, in my opinion, Mertesacker, I really rate him. Most people don't. If you don't think Mertesacker is any good, I want you to comment below and tell me why you think he's not any good, other than his slow pace. Like, give me a good reason, because saying someone's slow is not a good reason as to not why they're not a good defender. Lamar is a good defender not because he's fast, but because the way he plays. Okay. I think we had Jenkinson at right back as well, and Gibbs at left back. We had Manone in goal. He had good time in defence. He didn't concede, obviously. He made quite a few saves. However, I want to talk about the other goalkeeper, the Cologne goalkeeper. I don't remember his name because I was watching the game in another language, so I wasn't entirely sure whose name was who. But the goalkeeper made so many saves, save after save after save, especially from Giroud. He didn't get the score, but that's just because of the amazing goalkeeping of the Cologne goalkeeper. Walcott had quite a few shots. I think Chamberlain might have had a few. Cazorla had a couple, I know, that was saved well, very well. I need to look at the match stats and actually, or I might put it in the description below, just or a link, something like that. But all I know is that the goalkeeper stopped Cologne from conceding a good 6 to 8 goals, and we still won 4-0. I mean, Cologne aren't the best team. In fact, they were relegated this season, unfortunately, from the Bundesliga. And most teams are good, and in pre-season you can never be too sure. But seeing as there's only 1 week left until the start of the Prem, it was expected for us to win. If we lost, it would be unforgivable, totally unforgivable, and we didn't, so it's all good again. Um, in the second half, so we were already winning 3-0. Arsene Wenger made quite a few changes. He brought on Javinia, he brought on Arshavin, brought on Song, brought on Diaby, brought on Shamak eventually, brought on Giroud, brought on Koscielny, brought on Santos. I think so he made many changes. In fact, I'm not sure if he changed the goalkeeper, but basically, me watching the game in the second half, we looked just as dangerous. Even though we only scored one goal, we looked just as dangerous, and it was very encouraging to see that for once Arsenal actually have two strong sides to use and alternate between or even mix in, because normally we have a strict first 11 and that is it. Anyone who comes in is never as good as the ones who leave, and so we have to struggle by from win to win and etc. like that. But from one half to the next, both teams were just strong and dominant, and they looked like they could win a game, go out and win a game, and that was so encouraging as an Arsenal supporter who's watched them for so many years, doing the brink of greatness. And I think that now we're getting closer and closer. Um, and controversially, Robin van Persie was brought on in the second half, the Judas, so to speak, or whatever. The man who said he wants to leave the club because he doesn't see the club going in the same direction as what he thinks he wants it to go in. He was played by Wenger anyway. He had the captain's armband on, and I don't know what to say. He didn't. It's not like he got loads of chances or anything, or did anything special. But he's obviously playing for the club. I noticed a couple of times that the fans booed him a bit, and that's to be expected. But the one thing I don't expect is for him to turn around and be like, "Why are the fans booing me? I'm sad now because you've done something wrong." If the crowd are pissed off at you, you can't really then be pissed off at them for them being pissed off at you. It makes no sense. So as far as Van Persie keeps himself in check, plays for the club as well as he can, scores goals, puts his heart into it. If he truly does love the club, put it all into it while you're still here, and then you can leave with a clear head and a clear mind. Then there's nothing more else we can ask of you, or anyone can ask of you, to be fair. The fourth goal was a goal from Jovino, and I think that this season is going to be his season. So many people criticised him for his lack of finishing, and I was one of them as well, because I went to a game, I think it was versus QPR. He was running down the middle, played the ball in. It was at the side where I was sitting in the stadium, and he had the simplest finish, and he flopped it. He flopped it. Him and Walcott are guilty of so many flops, but he's getting better, and most players don't. A lot of players that Arsenal Wenger signed aren't always amazing in their first season. Take Nazri, for example. It only took his second or third, whatever season to get into his full gear and show what he's worth. And Davino was a class act in League One, so he's going to be a class act in the Premier League. It just took, I think, just taking a season to adjust. For example, like Hazard. He might do well this season, he might not, but if he doesn't, there's nothing wrong with him doing better the season following. So, good first impressions from our final Premier League pre-season game. Next week we play Sunderland. I will do a review of that game also. Please stay tuned for that. Share your thoughts if you support Arsenal, if you don't, if you're just looking forward to the Premier League season, you know where to comment right there. Boom, boom, boom. And not much else I can say. It's been Wildest, and please like, subscribe. Take care.